It's been a tight series at the Trop. Each team has hit a big fly late in the game to break a tie, as the A's and the Rays have lived up to the hype, splitting this weekend set between two of baseball's hottest teams. Mike Fiers gets the ball in the rubber game and will look to help win the series before the A's depart from sunny Florida and return home. Final game of the road trip, final game of the series. A's and Rays next. It is hot and humid outside. It's very comfortable inside Tropicana Field, downtown St. Petersburg. That is where we are at for the rubber game of the series. Mike Fiers will pitch for the A's. It's the A's and the Rays coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. What a pickup Mike Fiers has been. In fact, he is undefeated as a member of the Athletics, and that includes a win earlier on this road trip. Ray.
You know what's great about him, Kuiper? I think the fact that he pitches well regardless of the situation. Granted, he faced the Orioles, but he got a 3-0 lead in this game in Baltimore, and he took advantage of that. He still used all of his pitches, worked very well with Jonathan Lucroy. Great curveball, but I think the biggest thing about him, he loves the big stage. He knows he's a veteran. He's pitched in big games, and I think he's a guy that the A's can turn to in the stretch down the postseason if they get there. But I think also the fact that he is a veteran, he knows how to pitch. You give him a lead, and he's going to take advantage of it.
Good series and a good road trip for A's first baseman Matt Olson, and last night a long home run, his 27th of the year.
Great for him to get hot again. He's surpassed last year's total of home runs. In Baltimore, he said this is a great hitter's park. He went opposite field at the 3-run home run last couple of nights ago. He got the base hit with the shift on the right side. That brought in the run. That was after Chris Davis was intentionally walked. But how about this one last night? A big one to right field. Ninth pitch in the at-bat. He fouled off 4 pitches with 2 strikes, then hit a tying home run, very deep to right field. So Matt Olson is playing well. Defensively, he's great. He's just a complete player. First full year for the A's first baseman.
All right, so today the A's will try to win the series, and they'll try to lower their magic number, which is sitting at 7. Up next, we will check back in with the guys in the A's pregame live studios, and then back to Florida for Game 3 of the series, the A's and the Rays.
Brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer. Brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different, like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Only at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Well, we are set for baseball. That's Diego Castillo, who's going to start the game today, much like he started the game on Friday night. How about that? Yeah. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's very hot and very muggy outside, 88 degrees. But, of course, indoors here at Tropicana Field. So it's the rubber game of this three-game series. A's won in exciting fashion on Friday night. The Rays won in exciting fashion last night. Here's the starting lineup for the A's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's Martini, Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olson, Piscotti, Laureano, Simeon, and Lucroy. That's your A's starting lineup.
And like Kipe said, this young man did start on Friday night. Fortunately, he pitched only 2 innings because he was outstanding. Fastball approaching 100 miles per hour with a great cutter slider. He faced the batters. Didn't give up anything. Struck out 4, but he pitched great. But just pitched 2 innings as the opener, one of 9 pitchers for the Rays on Friday.
So the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. So Nick Martini leading things off, hitting .292. He's got 14 RBIs. Not sure what the timeout is for.
stare off. Oh, you got two guys that are Liam Hendriks and somebody that looks like Larry Vanover, who missed a huge call last night, decided that they're not going to allow this to happen on the field. So Carlos Gomez and Liam Hendriks had a little standoff, but Larry said no.
0-1 pitch to Martini is hit high and foul. It's a quick 0-2 count. Martini 1 for 4 in the series. He has scored a run.
Cap, I didn't see. Did Bob Melvin take out the lineup?
He did not.
He did not.
He said he was not going to do that.
Yeah, A's did lose last night, so other circumstances towards the end of the game probably prevented that from happening too.
All right, Carlos, go. Well, we have to tell you, Carlos Gomez, I know some people are like, oh, that guy. You know what? It's hard to find a teammate who will say something bad
That's
about
right.
it. And a hard slider down and in, and Martini chased it.
Well, you're sitting for 100 and he throws that, more than likely you're going to do exactly what Martini did. I think the biggest thing is trying to get his spin. I mean, I don't know that he's going to go more than 2 anyway, but man, that is nasty. I mean, it's out of the strike zone. Fortunately, Sucre got a glove on it, prevented it from going to the backstop.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi today, Modern Finance Company. As Ray said, Castillo started on Friday and he pitched 2 innings and struck out 4. He was nasty. That's the home plate umpire tonight, Jansen Visconti. Guccione at first, Rackley at second, and that's Larry Vanover down at third. One pitch to Matt Chapman, and a quick 0-2, 90 miles an hour on the slider. So it's not an easy at bat to open up the ball game.
And you know what's really great, I think, is that this is one time the A's might be happy that the opener is just the opener, and he's going to be out. They did use 9 pitchers. It was Castillo and then Stanek and Yarborough. 3 of the 9 used by Kevin Cash.
On the ground is short. Adames has it. The shortstop fires across 2-0. So that'll bring up Jed Lowry. Here's the Rays defense in the ball game today. Jake Bowers goes out to left field. Kevin Kiermaier's in center, Malik Smith in right. Duffy, Adames, Lau, and Crone. C.J. Crone at first base. Jesus Sucre is your catcher today. His first start in this series.
It's blown on his hand because maybe it hurts after a couple of the fastballs thrown by Castillo.
First pitch to Lowry. Well, I guess the 2 games from a Rays pitching standpoint have been different, maybe different categorized, because game 1, the game that Castillo started, it was really a bullpen game.
Exactly.
There was not a second guy that came in or a third guy that came in that kind of acted as maybe the starter and went deeper into the game. Last night, they did the same thing. Had a reliever start the game, but then Chirinos pitched 5 1/3 innings. That was not the case on Friday night.
I think Yarborough was supposed to, but it didn't work that way, and you know, maybe you can adjust. But what Chirinos did last night, I agree with you. He came in and did an exceptional job. And actually, Bassett was supposed to come in to follow Liam Hendriks, but because of lefties, that was not the case.
Yeah, Yarborough did pitch on Friday night, but he only pitched 2 innings.
Right. Because he just was not. He did the same thing in Oakland, where Stanek started that Thursday final game of the 4-game series, and Yarborough came in following Stanek. Stanek got the loss when Yarborough gave it up.
And now 2-2 to Jed Lowry.
Hey, Kike, you're talking about Carlos Gomez. Jeff, our great statman, say Carlos Gomez walk-up music is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Perfect.
And he does it for the kids. That's pretty special.
That is good. That's a good idea.
So he does have a good time playing the game, which really between he and Adrian Beltre, I don't know anybody in the American League at least that does it any better.
2-2 to Lowry. He fouls out the back, so Jed getting some good hacks against Diego Castillo. Well, today any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. I think we'll get it from Castillo.
Yes, I think we've already gotten a few times.
He can touch triple digits.
Yeah. Maybe that should be a bonus for triple digits because he can do it.
His fastball averages 97.4 miles per hour. And there's that slider, and held on by Sucre. So another good inning for Diego Castillo. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Malik Smith, Matt Duffy, G-Man Choi, the top 3. Then it's Crone, Lau, Kiermaier, Adames, Bowers, and Sucre. There's a Rays lineup.
And Mike Fiers will start for the Athletics, and as we detailed in our open, he's done an exceptional job for the Athletics. He's making his 29th start overall. Of course, a lot of those with the Detroit Tigers, and he started with the season, but 12-6 on the season. Is yet to be defeated as a member of the Athletics, and hopes to continue that today against the Tampa Bay Rays here in their home park. This is the final game. The A's will play indoors. Took the 3 games here. Somebody's already warming up for the Rays. That's good news. Remember, Castillo started Friday, so it's, I guess, not unusual for him to be the starter today, the opener. And Dennis Kittredge, who threw 2 pitches last night, got the victory. Mix and match.
1-1 the count to Malik Smith. Malik Smith sitting at 303 on the season. Down the left field line, hustling over is Martini, but it's going to drop foul. So 1-2. Quick look at the A's defense behind Mike Fiers. It has Martini in left, Laureano in center, Piscotty's in right. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen on the infield with Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching. So 1-2 the count. Gonna rattle off a whole bunch of great notes on Mike Fiers. The year he's having. Line foul. I think the one that jumps out, Ray, he's 8-3 with a 2.63 ERA over his last 19 starts. That goes back to May 30th. Since May 30th, the ERA is the lowest in the American League since May 19th.
That's impressive.
I mean, that's
halfway
3
through
months.
the second month of the season.
Best ERA in the American League since May 30th. Right back to Fires, who grabs it. So the speedy Malik Smith is kept off the bases.
Well, that's it. Almost 50% fastballs, not surprising there, but he also throws a splitter, curveball, and cutter very effectively, and that makes him really an exceptional pitcher to be able to do that. Because if you can mix your pitches and you're under 50% with a fastball, of course the cutter acts as a fastball too, but that's a pretty good one.
So 1 away, he'll face Matt Duffy. And he drills Duffy. Duffy will walk down to first.
Check the left hip, actually left rib cage. I don't know if he got his arm, elbow guard down in enough time.
So Duffy not really feeling all that great.
We were talking about Carlos Gomez. How about when he got hit and he took 2 steps and then went straight down?
That's right.
To his face. Definitely has a good time when he plays.
Here's G-Man Choi. Pitch to Choi is a bit outside.
Yeah, but I think Mike Fiers kind of showed what he can do in the game that he started against the Yankees on that Wednesday night, whenever the game was delayed 10 minutes and really nobody knew. And he was ready to go. He had about 20-25 minutes from his bullpen session, his first pitch, and it was the first class of the Hall of Fame of the Athletics, and took a little bit longer, but he did an exceptional job. He ended up winning the game against the Yankees in Severino. The A's, and again in that game, the A's scored him 4 runs in the first inning, and he took it to the house, winning 8-2 in that game.
Choi takes a strike right on the outside corner. Choi does not have a hit in this series. He's 0 for 7.
I think the surprising thing, the couple of pitches that he has hit that have been on the inside part of the plate, you think he would be pulling, as he did the Monday night against Cleveland, the walk-off home run. He did extend his arms on that one.
Lowry kicks off his glove. They still get the out at second. On to first, not quite in time. And that's the second out on the fielder's choice.
That's a nice logo. 20th year in existence, and a little star in between the 20, but the logo on the cap, the bill of the cap, is good. Of course, they wear these light blue jerseys. I think Sundays, it seems. Is that? Thank you, Jeff. It seems to come out on Sundays. It should have been a double play. Fortunately, the A's did get the lead runner, but it's one of those that you'd like to think about Mike Fiers back in the dugout instead of having to pitch to C.J. Cron, who enters the game with 26 home runs.
Cron with 249 batting average. First pitch is high. Rays, an expansion team in 1998. They came in with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
2008, they were in the World Series against the Phillies. They didn't win. A lot of rain in that World Series.
And that one is drilled. And that is way out of here. 2-0 Rays lead.
And that's the one thing you did not want to see after they should have been double play. And he gets a chance to hit, and he did not miss it. Yeah, Cap, I think it's fortunate he hasn't played the first 2 games. I mean, that's his 27th home run. And a guy hit it like that against right-handers.
So give him 64 RBIs.
86-mile-an-hour little cut slider, and big man can put the wood to it. He knew it, and why not? That was a crushed shot.
So that is the third home run by the Rays in this series, and it gives them an early lead. The one negative on Mike Fiers' season, because he's really had a terrific season, is the amount of home runs he's allowed. That is 29 home runs now in 159 innings, so that's a pretty high number.
And it's his ninth with the Athletics. VR hit one in Baltimore in his last start. Sanchez, the 2-run shot for the Yankees, gave up 3 to the Seattle Mariners. So now, Cap, we talked in Oakland and the guys back in the studio about playing postseason, veterans, etc. The little plays that aren't made don't show up as an error, but the plays that have to be made.
Laureano going back. Laureano in deep left center field, and he tracks it down. So that ball got up in the air and kept going off the bat of Brandon Lau. But Laureano grabs it. Crone with a 2-run homer. In your X1 voice remote, get live stats in your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. That looks like fun. Actually, what you don't know is that's Ray and I, during the day yesterday, before we came to the ballpark, got on the jet skis.
Right.
Okay.
Bow wow.
Okay, I'm lying. Park in the Park Day. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. So Andrew Kittredge comes in. Why, I do believe he's pitched in every game in this series.
Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday, and third of an inning both games. Last night, as you mentioned in our open, he threw 2 pitches, got the final out, the 8th inning before Bowers hit the 3-run home run.
So only 5 total pitches thrown in the first 2 games of this series for Kittredge, so it's not like he's being overused.
Amazing thing was about Castillo, he threw just 29 on Friday, 13 today, and he's gone.
On the ground to Duffy, couple steps to his left, and he throws out Chris Davis.
Well, this is the backhand, got the heel of the glove, did get the force out, but that's an extra couple of pitches that Fiers had to throw, plus he pitched out of the the stretch to Crone, and a lot of things factored in, but the A's not able to get the double play. C.J. Crone with a 2-run home run. It's not an error on the scorecard, but a mistake that allowed an extra hitter to hit.
Here's Matt Olson. Talked about Matt Olson in the open of our show. He's had a nice road trip. 27 homers and 75 RBIs now for Matt Olson. He's 6 for 18 on the trip with a couple of home runs and 6 RBIs. Home run number 27 came last night. Shows bunt.
Oh, this is on a pitch from who came in following, and that tied the game at 2. What a great swing by Matt Olson. A big one, and that same guy with the striped shirt, he caught 2 home runs last night. The second one a little bit harder off of the bat of Bowers, and also a big blow to the Athletics, a 3-run shot.
Home runs by first baseman in the American League. Matt Olson leads Ryan Healy by 3. Right there. Now it's 3-2. Piscotty to follow here in the second inning. Like a breaking ball that missed inside. So Olson is the A's first base runner.
Instead of a 3-1, backed it up with a 3-2, though it missed, and Olson would not go after it. But I think in the case of Sucre, who's a veteran catcher, you probably have to try to watch him. Don't watch him get down on one knee with his hand behind his back with 2 strikes on the hitter, though. Change game. Okay.
Yep.
It really is. 2-strike pitch is a very important pitch, especially if the hitter swings and you have to try to block it.
So Piscotty steps up. He's got 24 home runs, 76 RBIs. Really is quite a middle of the order, Ray, if you think about it. Starting with Chapman, 23 homers. Lowry, 21. Davis, 42. Olson, 27. Piscotty, 24. That's your 2 through 6 hitters. There's not a lot of lineups that could say that.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, while they may not all be hitting 30+, but to be that consistent and to have that many with all of them over 20, that is very impressive. Because from a pitcher standpoint facing them, Melvin knows that any one of those guys can hit a big home run to get them back in the game. In the case of Chris Davis, won a game in the 10th inning as he did Friday.
Piscotty hits it hard toward the shortstop. Namas out at second, and that is a double play. So Piscotty hits into the 6-4-3 double play, and that will do it for the A's in the top of the second.
with his no-no against the Red Sox Friday, September the 21st. That's coming up next Friday. We celebrate that special night with the Shawn and I bobblehead, brought to you by NBC Sports California. Grab your tickets for the special night at athletics.com/tickets. That's very nice for the A's to create the bobblehead following the no-hitter and have it available for the fans this 2018 season. Wish Shawn and I the best. He's having surgery this week, I think.
I believe so, yep.
So wish him the best and look forward to getting him back in the rotation sooner than later.
1-1 the count to Kevin Kiermaier. He'll be followed by Willie Adames and then Jake Bauers, the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Rays. Slowly in. Chapman was going to field it and then try to spin around and throw, and he did not get it cleanly. Kiermaier is very fast.
And that's a great point, Kevin, because I don't even know if Simeon had fielded it. And I say, well, why is he ranging so far? Look where Simeon is, how far he had to come. And if he catches it, I mean, really the only possibility would have been for Chapman to do what he tried to do, and that's cut in front, catch, spin, throw. But the ball stayed down. His glove came up just a little bit. And Kiermaier smells a base hit. Able to get to first base safely.
So leadoff man aboard. It's Kiermaier. Here's Willie Adames. Adames takes a first pitch strike. Kiermaier, as far as on the base paths, he's got 9 steals. He's been thrown out 5 times. Duffy had a stolen base last night, but the Yankees have done a pretty good job of slowing down the Rays on the base paths because they are a team that likes to run. Lucroy threw out a couple of runners on Friday night. Just don't come across teams that run a lot anymore, but the Rays are one of them. 109 stolen bases for the season, 3rd most in the American League.
But it is rare, and that's why pitchers and catchers have to be on their toes a little bit more against a team like the Rays, because Kevin Cash will have them running. They don't really have a lot of power, although C.J. Cron showed his power with two-run home run in the first inning, but he is the only one in the lineup today. Make it 2. Bauers hit his 11th last night. Just a couple of guys in the lineup for the Rays today in double figures in home runs. Cron now with 27. Bauers has 11. He's the on-deck circle.
1-2 to Adames. He just barely got a piece of it and got a piece of Lucroy's glove.
Well, you can hear the double tick, and that's the foul ball and off the catcher's mitt. Just a very difficult play to make for a catcher on a foul tip.
Kiermaier has a decent lead at first. That's a nice block by Lucroy. Pitch was way outside.
Very mobile behind the plate is Jonathan Lucroy, and moving very quickly. You kind of anticipated, and he got his body in front of it, got the glove down, started to flip his mask in the event Kiermaier took off, which he didn't.
Really, Ray, the only way you can block that is if you do anticipate just a little bit. Yeah, otherwise, you can't block it.
Right. If you call a breaking pitch, you're really thinking that, and that's why a lot of times a fastball, when it bites hard and guys don't stop it, maybe the technique is not right, but it's not a pitch that you expect to be in the dirt.
There it goes. And the pitch is low, and Lucroy did not handle the pitch cleanly, so it is going to be a stolen base.
Well, the pitcher's down and away, tried to backhand and throw, but as a result, with a big break by Kiermaier, the breaking ball again in the dirt, and if it's up in his glove, might have a chance. Kiermaier picked a good pitch to run on.
So the count 3-2, runner in scoring position for the Rays. And it's inside. He walked in. So that'll bring up Jake Bauers, and this is what Bauers did last night. It was the biggest hit in the game, obviously.
Well, you get 2 strike and you make that kind of a pitch. First of all, it's amazing that someone can react on a 2-strike pitch the way Bauers did, but it was a pretty good pitch to hit. He just overthrew it. Familia did, inside part of the plate, and Bauers didn't miss it.
So Bauers, Sucroy will be next.
I think our guy's back.
The heckler?
Yeah.
Is it? Let me see.
I just heard. If you hear somebody loudly, he's usually behind home plate. He's a season ticket holder.
He used to sit right behind home plate. He was here just about every night, and you could hear just about everything he said, which, quite frankly, after a while became fairly annoying. Actually, not after a while. It was annoying by about the bottom of the first, right?
Well, I could hear him the game Monday against Cleveland. I could hear him watching the game from Baltimore. So
you were a long ways away.
I know, that's how loud he was.
Yeah, he's not here nearly as much as he used to be. At least that's what we've been told.
There he is. That's the man.
Yeah,
nice going, Tommy. There.
The fact that we know what he looks like and we can immediately show him, that tells you his popularity right there.
I'm always amazed that the family sitting next to him said, "Dad, honey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, watch the game, just enjoy it."
Yeah, somebody's got to speak up. A family member has to speak up. So 2-1 to Jake Bauers. So Fires, not quite as sharp as we've seen him.
Yeah.
Struggling a little bit today. 2-1 the count. Bauers with 11 home runs, 43 runs batted in. And that one's up and away. So now the count 3-1. Rays as a team are 10th in the American League in runs scored. Fires, kicks, and delivers, and that one's not close. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Fires numbers pitching in this ballpark. 3 starts, 1-1 with a ERA of 7.31. I don't know if that's enough information just yet, but I'm sure there are ballparks where guys just aren't comfortable pitching in.
Well, evidently Yankee Stadium is one for Fires as well. So that's not good. Of course, pitching for Houston, he only faced the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays once in each part, or at least if his turn came up.
So here's Jesus Sucre.
Yankees will sacrifice a run and hope to get 2. And that is if you get Sucre to hit a ball on ground.
Sucre hitting just 186. And he hits a shot to Olson, who grabs it in the air. A's are going to get a double play.
They're looking for 3, but what a play by Matt Olson.
They double off Adames, the runner at second. So Matt Olson had to reach down and grab that one. And when he caught it, he turned around and he realized that second base was the place to go.
You know, it's almost like you put your head on a swivel. You have the bases loaded and you catch a ball, you start looking around, and you're right, he had Adames, the one that started to leak a little bit too far, so an easy play to get a double play second. And boy, ball in the air, nobody out. I mean, anytime that happens with less than 2 outs as a base runner, you have to think about going back to the base, especially the ball in the air. Fortunately, Matt Olson able to pick that one off and turn it into a 3-6 double play.
Yeah, Adames just took off.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that's not right.
And that's a significant mistake, because if he reads it correctly, you still have the bases loaded and 1 out.
With Malik Smith up, who's tough to double up.
Yeah.
Well, heads up by Matt Olson, and we've talked about his offense in these 3 games or in this road trip, but man, his defense at first has been very good, as it just showed on that double play.
First pitch to Malik Smith, just a little bit low. There's a look of Adames and what he does. See, on contact, he just takes off.
See, as he made the spin, Olson made the spin. He kind of took third base all the way around and saw Adames off. And no, you're right, Cap. He can't take off the way he did. And again, this could be a real boost for Mike Fiers if he can get out of this inning.
Well, that's why when you see it sometimes, a guy may not be able to score. Let's say he's at second base, and he'll hesitate to make sure the ball goes through the infield, and then he'll go to third, and you're thinking, oh, he could have scored, but you have to wait till the ball gets past an infielder.
And you also hope that the third base coach sees the runner take that little hesitation, because he might send him. I remember talking to Mike Gallego about that. It said there are times that you just can't see everything. You see where the ball is going. You're assuming the base runner's on the move. I think that play was a lot closer that Olson dropped the ball, because Suchiona, the first base umpire, kind of looked before he made the final call.
So 1-0 the count to Malik Smith. Kiermaier at third, Bowers at first. Fouled right back to the screen to even the count at 1-1. Smith grounded out and 2 Fiers in the first inning.
For Malik Smith, 2 outs, 4 for 5 in his last at-bats with runners in score position, but 2 outs. But the infield has to be conscious, and Matt Chapman is playing a little bit closer to the bag, but everybody else a couple of steps in off of the outfield turf, because Malik Smith can run any sort of a ground ball, especially one that's not hit hard. It's going to be a challenge to get it.
For that one a little bit, pokes it foul.
Dogs are excited today.
Yeah, it's dog day at the ballpark. We had that in Baltimore, and get the pleasure of having it here in St. Petersburg.
I think I would have bought a couple extra seats.
Lady's got her hands full there. Dogs are great, but I don't know that you generally want them crawling all over top of you.
Especially if you buy 1 seat for you and your dog. Spread out, just.
Yeah. Dog has won that battle. One and 2 to Smith. Outfield shallow. Runner goes, and the pitch is in the dirt, so it'll be a stolen base for Bowers.
You know, one thing, you look at the 2 stolen bases, of course, this one no throw with Bowers taking off. Again, head down, and with 2 strikes, you can do it. 2 outs, but the 2 stolen bases, one has occurred on a slider in the dirt, now with a curveball in the dirt. And I don't know that Jonathan was going to throw anyway. But good block to keep the runner at third, allowing the runner to go to second. But that's a big block for Luke Roy and Fiers. If you can get the third out, you no force at second with the stolen base, so they would have to go to first on a ground ball to get the speedy Smith.
And we've seen Smith in this series hit some slow ground balls where a couple times he's beat it out.
That's right. One to Simeon just to his right, and If a ball straight at an infielder's got a chance, but if you have to take a move left or right with his speed, it's like Ichiro running out of the batter's box.
A pretty good take there by Malik Smith. So the count is full. Duffy would be next. And a lot of pitches for Fiers, 37 so far. Malik Smith, he's really working on that swing. How many do you need, Ray? 3? At least. How about 0?
Getting ready to see his 6th pitch in the at bat. You would think that his
swing should be ready to go. Pitch is high. So now the Rays have Duffy coming up with the bases loaded. So 3 walks in this inning. All right, the double play.
And three walks on a base hit. He still has the bases loaded. But man, after, you know, you think that when he hit Duffy, no big deal. It did put a runner on base and double play not turned, and that's when C.J. Cron hit the home run. So really just 1 hit of the first inning. But in this inning, as Emilio Pagan starting to get loose, but whenever he hit Duffy, maybe that was kind of, you think that his control is not where he really wants it. So he will pitch out of the windup, see if that helps him in this at bat against Duffy.
First pitch to Duffy. And that's a strike right at the knees. Good pitch by Fiers. He jumps ahead. Duffy, good batting average, pretty good on base percentage. Not a lot of power. Duffy with 20 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. Kiermaier, Bauer, Smith, lots of speed on the bases. Duffy, a 321 hitter with runners in scoring position. And now it's 2-1.
And usually the fastball is the pitch that you have your best control, but that's not the case with Fiers today. It's got to be very frustrating for him. Breaking ball that Cron hit for a home run. Also throwing a couple of breaking pitches in the dirt.
Duffy, a bouncer towards Simeon, who charges, straightens up and fires. He works hard and he gets out of the inning. The Rays do not score. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Grand Prix of Sonoma is today at 3:30. NBC Sports Network. Check it out. 2-0 the Rays lead, top of the third inning. On a nice Sunday afternoon here in St. Petersburg, but the A's are ready to go home. Final regular season homestand coming up this week. So we're looking forward to that. Rays, on the other hand, they're heading out. We'll be at Texas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at Toronto Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We're going to look forward to some fresh air. Indoors at the Trop. That's Hunter Wood. He has not pitched in this series yet, so he gets to loosen up and perhaps be in the ball game. I would say it's a pretty good chance before this series is over, everybody on the roster on the Rays is going to get a game pitch.
Well, let's see. Hunter Wood has not pitched. Jake Faria has not pitched. Jalen Beeks has not pitched. So there's 3 that have not, and it looks like we're going to see one of them.
Yeah. It is spring training, you know.
Yes, it is. 2-2 the count to Ramon Laureano. Andrew Kittredge, his second inning of work. And that one is lined toward right field. Malik Smith hustling over, and he makes a backhanded catch. So a well hit ball by Laureano.
Well, the corner outfielder's ball in this case is going to be slicing back, but Malik Smith has the speed. He slices back, and he takes a nice angle with Kiermaier backing him up. It's a good play, especially with the speed of Smith to be able to run it down.
So one away. Here's Marcus Semien. And Marcus lines one to right center. Kiermaier's right there. So the Rays had him played perfect. If you have a regular defensive setup, that's a hit 100% of the time.
That's right.
But Kiermaier was over quite a ways into right center, and he was shallow.
And a breaking ball from Kittredge. See where Kiermaier's playing. See where the ball is hit. And you're right. A normal, that's a base hit. If it scoots past the outfield, it may go for a double. That's not a triple.
So Jonathan Lucroy steps up. Luke had a 240 batting average. 3 home runs, 47 RBIs.
Tell you the way it's gone for Castillo, just 13 pitches in the first, just 20 for Kittredge in an inning and 2/3. Maybe they have it programmed. No matter how many pitches they throw, it's by innings and getting up and sitting down. But Wood is loosening in the bullpen.
Well, what the Rays have been doing, at least in the first 3 innings, is just pumping strikes in there.
So it's coming in throwing hard, and if you're a reliever, that's all you have to do. Throw hard, throw strikes.
1-2 to Lucroy.
And no, you probably don't have a chance to get a win.
Nope. That would be tough to do.
That's right.
Unless you're that guy that comes in the second inning and maybe pitches 5 innings, then you got a decent shot. Lucroy spoiled a pretty good pitch by Kittredge. He's had 1 base runner. That was Olson's walk in the second inning. C.J. Cron over, and he goes into a slide, but he slid way too early. There's really no reason to go into a slide. I know you don't want to run into the railing. He had about 7 feet yet.
Yeah, and really you try to go as far as you can go, the railing being the stopping point, and if he had gone there quickly as possible. But you're right, slide, the ball dropped in front of the dugout. He's a big boy, though. Maybe he didn't want to have somebody try to stop him.
Kittredge gets the strikeout anyways as Lucroy swings and misses, and Kittredge, somebody needs to let him know that that is the third out. Troy Cronin low, excuse me.
Now, one of the things that Fiers has to do is really try to minimize the damage. He got out of bases loaded, nobody out last inning, and trying to get his control. Because 2-0 is really, at this point, nothing. A lot of baseball remaining, but it's up to the pitcher to make sure he does not give up more runs, or the pitchers, depending how many come in for the A's.
Troy skies one. Shallow right center. Laureano's there, and he's got it, and that's out number one. So there was controversy last night. The A's were upset about this pitch. It was a 2-2 pitch with the bases loaded and one out. And Marcus Semien argued, and he was not happy, and he had every right to be unhappy. Larry Vanover standing between home plate and the mound. And Bob Melvin came out to save Marcus Semien, and Bob Melvin got thrown out. And I'd really, really like to know if Larry Vanover, after the game or today, looked at the pitch and
I can
wonder what he thought about it.
You know, from what I heard, he said, let's go look at it and I'll show you I was right.
Well, let's look at it, Larry, and we'll show you that you were wrong.
Because they did the spread of the balls being thrown, and it was only 6 inches off the plate.
We have a very good production crew down in the truck, and they'd be glad to roll it out for you.
But no, I mean, I think that's the thing that should be, they should have to look at it, and I don't know that they do. I mean, there's a disc that's given to them every game, and I just questioned how many times if they ever look at it to see, especially on questionable calls.
It's a bouncer, and it's foul by C.J. Cron.
Because, you know, Guy, if they're graded positively, like any 98, 99%, why would they look at it? I mean, they can make the calls however they want to if they're graded positively. But that was clearly off the plate.
Now, we're also not gonna sit here and tell you that that was the sole reason why the A's lost the game, because that would not be accurate either. Exactly. But it was a important pitch in the game. It was the 2-2 pitch. It was not the 3-2 pitch.
That is a backdoor cutter that didn't cut, stayed out, and we kept thinking that he's going to go cutter in, but he never did.
So this will be the final time we show you this, and then we will move past it.
But that's a cutter, and look, watch the catcher. Watch this. Move it back to see the slot, see where he's set up, and you know the umpires do that regardless, and they just sometimes cannot see the outside part of the plate, and it becomes a guessing game. And in the case of Vanover, he guessed incorrectly. I'm sorry.
And Crone goes around, says Chris Guccione. That's the first strikeout for Mike Fiers, so 2 away.
That's a good start in this inning for him, getting the pop up by Choi and check swing with the big man with a high fastball. And according to Guccione, went too far, which he did.
So with 2 outs, here's Brandon Lau. Diamondbacks and the Astros will get started in just a little bit in Houston. That's the rubber game of that 3-game series. Greinke and Verlander, so that's a heck of a pitching matchup. Keep a close eye on that one. Looks like Mike Fiers is going to get his first 1-2-3 inning, and he does, and he did it on 9 pitches. 4th inning coming up, 2-0 Rays.
The Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So top of the 4th inning with the Rays leading the A's 2-0. A's will have the top of the order up against a new pitcher. It's Hunter Wood. So we are seeing Hunter Wood for the first time. It's his 22nd appearance. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Hunter Wood could throw hard also.
What a surprise, huh?
Mid-90s, curveball, slider, changeup. Right over the top.
Martini with a mighty swing. A little Reggie Jackson going there. Reginald Martinez Jackson. 0-2.
Well, for Martini, this is his second at bat and his second pitcher that he's seen. Different one, and that would be the case for the first 3 batters in this inning. Oh, man, you must have known Reggie was in the house, huh?
Yes. He's excited. Pitch is driven toward left center, but Kiermaier backs up and over, and he's got it. So 1 away. Time now for the Indeed player resume. Matt Chapman, since the All-Star break, he's been sensational. He's got a .330 batting average. Again, this is second half of the season. 70 hits, 13 home runs, 35 RBIs. His OPS is over 1,000. Now listen, if somebody for the length of a season has an OPS over 900, that's really good. Matt Chapman, since the All-Star break, an OPS over 1,000. So you say, well, young player, he's developing. See him get a little bit better each year. We've seen Matt Chapman, I think, take a huge step in his progress as a hitter, just from the first half to the second half. Driving the ball to right field. Not striking out as much.
I think that's a great combination, especially if you drive the ball to right field and they are shading him. Kiermaier is going back and forth. He was in left center against Martini, now in right center against Chapman. That's respecting his ability to go to the opposite field.
This one should reach the seats, and it will, right behind the Rays dugout. Chapman grounded out to short in the first inning. To the backstop. Chapman homered last night
against Sergio Romo, so you know he had to provide his own power with Romo pitching. He does not overpower you, but the ball hit deep to left center, a long shot, and the unfortunate thing, the Rays had scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th. That was a solo in the 9th.
Thomas, the shortstop, on the first, and that's out number 2. So Chapman, a couple of ground outs today, and with 2 outs, Lowry will step up.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Lowry struck out in the first. .91 RBIs for Jen Lowry. Get him to 100. He's have 12 games left after today. So Lowry needs 9 RBIs.
Last year he got the doubles to set the record. So why not go for 100 this season? But if you're thinking about the A's and the 3 pitchers they face, the openers in this 3-game series, and you get encouraged about going back to the Coliseum, well, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's TBD against TBD.
Yeah.
All 3 games. So who knows who's going to be TBD.
Well, it sounds like the A's will do the opener thing on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's the rumor anyways, Liam Hendricks. So A's will keep doing that right through the regular season.
Yeah.
Pitch is hit just foul. Brett Anderson's getting close as well. We may see him soon. That would be good news. That's a broken back.
Well, Fires today pitched on Tuesday in Baltimore, pitching today, so he's under his normal turn, if you will. Pitching on the 5th day, 4 days rest. And of course, there are numbers when a pitcher gets an extra day, and Fires actually pitches pretty well when he's pitching a normal turn every 5th day.
Sharp breaking ball, but a little bit inside.
Right over the top with the breaking ball, and that's not a bad pitch.
Sharp call. Sharp breaking ball. Jed just rolls the foul to keep the count 2-2. Andrew Kittredge went 2 innings, pitched the second and the third, walked one, struck out one. Grounded towards short. Adames slides to his right. He has it. And Hunter Wood with a 3-up, 3-down inning. So bottom of the fourth coming up. Still 2-0 Rays. Mike Norris, we're out to a 22-9 record with the A's, gets his 20th victory of the season when the A's beat the Texas Rangers in Arlington Stadium by a final score of 4-2. Mike Norris. Forget the glove. He doesn't need the glove. 1980. Well, that was quite a short stretch for the A's with Billy Martin as the manager.
That's right.
Pretty talented team.
Great screwball for Mike Norris, one of his better pitches, and those guys had about 90 complete games of the season.
And when we were in Baltimore and we were leaving on what was Thursday afternoon, the Chicago White Sox had got in and they had an off day, so they were staying at the same hotel. And we spoke with Steve McCaddy in the lobby, and he was part of that group. With Brian Kingman and Matt Keogh. Names from the past. Two and one the count to Kevin Kiermaier.
They would not have appreciated a bullpen game. I mean, when you have 90 to 100 complete games between the staff, bullpen could stayed in the clubhouse.
Actually, we should have ran that thought by McCann. Hey, Cat, what do you think of the bullpen game?
Yeah. And he's pitching coach of the minor leagues for the White Sox. Maybe he's part of it.
Strike three called, so Fires drops a breaking ball in there, gets his second strikeout.
Well, he continues to pitch well now after struggling in the first couple of innings, but after the walk to Malik Smith, he is retired now 5 in a row. So it's, I mean, when you get a reprieve after the second inning and you get out of that without giving up a run. He was upset after the first inning when he gave up the home run, but also the hit by pitch when he hit Duffy. Obviously at that time was not pitching the way he's capable.
So one away for Willie Adames, who walked in the second inning. Myers had 58 pitches. So a nice quick inning would not be terrible. He had one in the third. In fact, he's retired 5 in a row now, so maybe settling in a little bit. A little bit low. Haven't mentioned the Rays' success at home much in this series, but they've been quite a story at home. They're 47-26 in this ballpark, and they have won 14 out of their last 16 home games. They will finish the season with the final week. They will be at home. And maybe help the A's out, because that final weekend they have a 4-game series against the Yankees right here. I bet we're keeping an eye on that one.
Yes, I'm sure. It's going to be a possibility.
We'll be in Seattle, right?
We will be in Seattle at the first, and then the final 3 against the Angels. And on that Sunday, the A's will, assuming they don't win the division, they'll either be heading to New York or heading to Oakland. Preferably Oakland. That would be great for one reason or another. If they win the division, they'd host the first round. If they win the wild card, they would host the wild card game. Last night was a big one, especially after the A's had known that the Yankees had already lost to the Blue Jays, and that's when Bowers hit the 3-run home run, the bottom of the 8th.
Another 2-2 and another foul ball. The Astros won last night, so the A's 3.5 back in the division. A's with a magic number of 7 for a postseason berth. You know what I wanted to do today, Ray? I wanted to explain to our viewers, because most of them probably know, but maybe there's some that don't, the math equation to get the magic number. That's not good. That is not a good equation.
No, it's not. That's called working the count, getting to 3 and 2, and being challenged.
So he jumped on it, did Willie Adames, and he hits his 9th home run.
Yeah, back-to-back 3 and 2 counts. First time he walked. Maybe somebody, well, he will probably, it will be forgotten that he was doubled off. And 3 and 2. High fastball, the one that C.J. Cron had a check swing and missed. This one was not missed. Boy, I tell you, the home runs that have been hit, starting with Bowers last night, really, and Olsen's, and Cron's today, and this one, they're not cheapers.
No, nothing dropping in the second row.
So I'd like to learn about the equation for the magic.
Well, I was thinking, we talked about the magic number a lot, and we know what the number means. Well, 7 for the A's to get in. But what is the actual formula? How do you figure it out? Well, if you don't know, listen up. It's pretty simple. You take the number 163. That's 162 plus 1. Okay, so take the number 163 and you subtract the amount of A's wins. Okay? So 163 minus the number of A's wins, and then subtract again the number of losses by the team closest to the A's, which in this case would be the Seattle Mariners. Okay, they're trailing the A's but closest to the A's. So what you'd have is 163 minus 90, that's the A's win total, minus 66, which is the Mariners loss total. And if you do that, you get 7. That's how you get the magic number. Fires is going to get over there, and he's going to cover just in time. So that'll be the old 6-1 putout, Ray. That was Marcus Simeon.
Matt Olson said, I'm going to make sure that this is going to be one of those unusual plays. I'm going to just stay at my position. Well, that's a good description of the formula. So,
yeah. So if you're not sure about how to get it,
that's right. That's perfect.
163 minus the A's win total minus the team closest to the A's loss total. And you, right now, you would get 7.
And if you're leading the wild card, or you're leading whatever it might be, if you win, that's 1. If the team that's closest to you loses, that's 2.
That's right.
So it's either 1 or 2. I mean, and if the other team loses and you lose, it's still a loss for them, because the loss column is always important.
And last night, the magic number did not move because the A's lost, but both the teams, in this case, not both, but the Mariners won. And the Mariners are the closest team to the A's, so the magic number doesn't move. And right now, it's a little tricky because the Mariners and the Rays, there's just a half game that separates those two, so they could flip-flop. That's a base hit to right field by Jesus Sucre, 2 outs in.
Well, some StatCast you don't want to know real numbers, because this one by Adames was hard. 109.7, 29 with the 420 feet. And on the back tarp above the outfield. And not cheap, neither was C.J. Cron. So it's 2 different pitches, both home runs, though. Cron's was a 1-0 cutter slider at 86. And the fastball that Adames hit was about 95.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Here's the top of the order, and Malik Smith. And he gets back out of the way.
So let's see, with Sucre's base hit, then that's 1 for 18, right? He ends an 0 for 18. There's Ryan Buchter up and throwing. 1 inning on Friday with a good inning against the bottom third of the batting order.
Just a little bit outside. Fires went off speed. So 2-0 to Malik Smith, who has bounced out and he has walked. Smith is 3 for 11 in this series. Time of possession has belonged to the Rays in this game. The A's do not have a hit. Good fastball. Oh, that one had a little giddy up on it, as we like to say.
A good location. Malik Smith is not able to handle the fastball up in the zone a little bit. The uppercut maybe for launch angle, which is something he should never think about. He's hit 2 home runs, but his wheels have gotten him on base a lot more, in over 300.
So now full count, and with 2 outs, Sucre, who is not a very fast runner, he's going to take off. Olson playing behind him, and the pitch is hit in the air toward Martini and left. He's got it, and that will do it. Willy Adames with a solo home run. So 3-0 Rays after 4.
Screen icons and features such as the live radio broadcast, the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Oh, man.
What a great moment. Check this out. This is a gentleman, obviously in the armed forces, and a surprise for the whole family. Look at this.
Well, they had a contest, and they had the kids say if they could recognize the person on the Jumbotron, the Diamond Vision, and he was saying, hello to everybody, been deployed for 7 months, and he's right behind Raymond. I mean, Raymond, you can hide a lot of people behind Raymond.
Yep, good job, Raymond.
Yeah, he did a
Get out of the way.
Coming, but what a nice 4 children, and very ecstatic, very happy to see Daddy, and I'm sure.
Left field, but not quite enough as Bowers goes back halfway onto the warning track. There they are. See, Raymond has a boss here, Ray.
Yeah.
Watch this young lady. Beat it, Raymond. Beat it. Get out of the way.
All right, come on in there, Dad.
That was a very, very cool moment. So no matter what the final score is, it's going to be a good day for that group right there. Right now the score is 3-0. The Rays lead.
Well, the A's would like to put some offense together. Unfortunately, they've only gotten a walk. This being the 3rd pitcher against them.
Base hit. It's going to be a 1-out single for Olson.
And the walk, coincidentally, was Matt Olson.
So hit number 1.
Okay, let's hope what you've said all season comes true, because that's a base hit. Get the A's first base runner, or a second base runner, the first that eliminated on the double play. But with the home run possibilities, one swing can get the A's back in the ball game. See if Steven Piscotty can do it.
Piscotty goes after the first pitch and skies it foul down the right field line.
Dr. Darren Bush, the A's hitting coach, and really it's a chore to try to keep up with the pitchers who are coming in, the scatter reports, and he referenced Adam Roden as we did at the beginning of the series, and put together the scatter reports and then just constant reminders what all these pitchers throw. And if you're facing the same pitcher for 1, 2, 3 at bats, you have a pretty good idea, especially after the first, what he might be doing. Get to see him, but man, you start seeing different pitchers. It changes everything. I think by the time Martini comes up, his at bat leading off, probably see another pitcher. it's the way things.
Keep working at him.
That's right.
Well, and plus some of them are guys that have not been in the big leagues that long.
Exactly. It's only minor league reports, and there's video on everybody. But you know, as we always say, you don't really know a guy until you get to the plate. Well, you may only see him one time, and you can't familiarize yourself with him if it's just one time. Wood has not pitched in the series, so no real information on him.
He's got it out at second. The throw to first is in the dirt, and Crone cannot dig it out. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Piscotty.
Well, if they're going to see it second, if he kept his foot on the bag, that's well. Bob Melvin saying let's go. We have seen it. Matter of fact, Adam Roden pointed it out in San Diego in the first game of the series, where second base straddled the bag, and that helped the A's score 1 run before Piscotty tied it in the 9th.
So with 2 outs, here's Laureano in the dirt. Bottom of the 5th inning in New York, the Yankees lead the Blue Jays 2-1. That's the rubber game of that 3-game series. And the Astros leading the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the top of the 2nd in Houston. 2 games we're keeping a very close eye on. And that one rolls past Sucre, so Piscotty's going to get to second. He makes a big turn. Sucre just kind of really not being in much of a hurry to go after him.
That's probably because he knew he missed the ball and probably be given a pass ball. See how he handles the pitch. Well, it's given a pass ball. I'll tell you the official score, Scotty. I mean, the 2 outs, and you know, while you can take the aggressive turn, the best thing is to just stay there. And since there is now, for the first time, a runner at second base, Sucre has to go through the signs.
Sucre heads back behind home plate. Laureano. That one missed well off the plate, and now 3-0.
Clark has pitched in a couple of games already. It's a shock when you're saying they haven't pitched.
Well, the Rays will tell you that the whole pitching thing, the way they're doing it, it's working.
Yeah. Now they've had a very good record whenever they have used the opener and used the bullpen. Blake Snell, of course, what, 19 wins. He's pitched himself, started a game and stayed in the game.
Right field, it's hit pretty well. Malik Smith going back, and he's got just enough room, and he makes the catch. A's get a hit, and they strand a runner. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 5-0 Tampa Bay, 3-0 Tampa Bay.
California is brought to you by TriNet, human resources that know your business.
Yeah, they're everywhere, folks. Ray Fosse for manager in 2020. So, Ray, the gentleman has aspirations.
No, I think he wanted to say hi, Mom, hi, Dad.
No, I think he wanted you to be the manager in 2020. Now, we're not sure what we're going to do with Bob Melvin.
No, let's have Bob Melvin remain exactly where he is, because he deserves it.
Ray Fosse fans, even on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So the Rays leading this one 3-0 when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts, as Corey Guerin comes in. Guerin will face Duffy, Choi, and Crone here in the bottom of the 5th. Duffy hit by a pitch, and then he grounded to short. With the bases loaded in the second inning. 1 miles an hour here, with a lot of movement on really all of his pitches. So Mike Fiers goes 4 innings, 79 pitches. 4 hits, 3 runs, a couple of walks, and a couple of strikeouts. Duffy with a good swing, fouls it straight back.
You know, some pitchers work quickly, some pitchers work slowly. Some pitchers look at imaginary things.
Well, listen, there's no secret. I mean, Corey Guerin is one of the slowest workers in all of baseball, and it's always been that way. I do believe with the Giants he tried to speed things up a little bit, but it's just the way he does it. But it's painstakingly slow for people playing behind him.
Yeah. Schultz, who gave up the home run to Chris Davis in the 10th inning on Friday night, losing for the Rays.
He hits it hard right to third. Chapman stays down on it. So 1 out. And that'll bring up Choi.
I always think about Ichiro Suzuki when he was playing right field. He talked about trying to keep his concentration by focusing on one point, one object in every park. And I want to keep looking up in the third deck over here. But it's always the third deck. I just wonder if that's his pass list. I don't know. But everybody has their own way of doing things.
Low to Choi.
Hey, Kai, it's overcast outside. Can't see, but this roof is translucent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can.
So it gets a little darker.
It's darker. Yeah, it's done that a few times, but you really never know, except for when it's a little brighter than it is at daytime outside. See the above left field, some windows that give you the look of being outside.
We've also heard it when it starts raining outside. If it's raining hard, you can hear it pretty clearly in here.
Thunder, rain on the roof, all those rings. And there are the Rays. People to put their hands in, I guess.
There's also a sign by that Rays tank that says, "What's the difference between Rays and Sharks?" Well, I want a really long list. Because if there's any similarities, then there should not be hands being stuck in the water. See the sign? How is a ray like a shark? Actually, I want the list to be really short.
Well,
Nothing.
yeah. And really, shouldn't you read the list before you put your hand in there? I mean,
it should be required reading.
Yeah. They look harmless, but I'm not going to take a chance. See those fins coming at you.
How is a ray like a shark? That's it. Nothing else. It means they're not like them at all. That's what I want to see. Well, they must be fairly harmless.
I wouldn't want to dive in and find out.
Coruel to left. Martini hustling back, and he leaps up, makes the catch, bounces off the wall, and a very nice play by Nick Martini.
Well, the great thing about Martini going after the ball, he started to run, look back, or look to see how close he was to the wall, then found the ball again. So all those things happening, and some would say it's very difficult with this roof to be able to do what he did. Back, looked at the wall briefly and then looked back, and I guess he had a pretty good idea where right there, just a quick peek to see how close the warning track was. And of course, if the warning track is the same texture as the grass or the artificial, it's not going to help you that much. But nice play nonetheless for Nick Martini with the opposite field shot by Choi.
That's a base hit. Go C.J. Cron, a homer in the first. He singles here in the fifth.
C.J. Cron, I understand, is $500 richer because Kevin Cash and Terry Francona, who are good friends, but they play jokes on each other. It's a fastball that fortunately just the base hit. But Kevin Cash got the scooter of Terry Francona in Cleveland and took it out to batting practice and set it just to the side of the pitching mound and offered $500 to anybody who could hit it. So Cron hit it, put a dent in it for $500. So to retaliate, Terry Francona on their big, I mean, we've seen their message board.
Yeah.
How bad of a hitter was Kevin Cash? And they put up his picture of swinging and his batting average and all kinds of things. And Cash's comeback was simply, you kept putting me in the lineup, so you knew how bad it was. He played for him in Boston and coached with him, but they're good friends. And
tough crowd.
It's tough, but how Kevin Cash got the scooter for Terry Francona is somebody's going to have to pay the price. But he was able to get it out on the mound or just to the right of the mound.
I saw some video of that. It was pretty funny.
It was funny, and guys on the radio were showing a picture of the scooter with the big dent in it. So he gladly paid Cron some money. And if Cron hit the scooter as hard as he hit that ball for a home run in the first inning, it had a huge dent in it.
That scooter is not available. 1-1 the count to Brandon Lau. Lau, fly ball to center, pop out to short. That one kicks away from Luke Croy, and Cron's going to go to second. So runner in scoring position. It's going to be a wild pitch. Buchter starting to throw. He's bullpen down the third base line. 2-1 the count to Lau. The Rays today 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, so they are now 2 for 17 in this series.
Cron's home run with a runner at first. That's none there, and of course Adames with a solo home run, but they've scored 3. That over is okay, but man, you'd like to prevent the extra runs from scoring. A's cannot afford to give up anymore.
Lowry on the backhand, throws to first, side retired. So Cron is stranded at second, and we are moving to the 6th inning. 3-0 Rays.
Oakland, what better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey accompanied by a world-class fireworks? That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks. Join us September the 22nd beginning at 6:05 for our game against the Minnesota Twins. Stay for the Bay's best fireworks. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today.
That's a beautiful look at St. Pete Beach. Not too shabby. Rays leading 3-0 over the A's, top of the 6th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So it is Jamie Schultz who gave up the home run to Chris Davis the other night. So that was his first loss of the year. Simeon rips one to left. Powers is there, 1-away. Well, the A's have just not been able to get anything going. They had a one-out walk in the second. That was erased on a double play. Olson got the first hit last inning, a one-out single. He was stranded at second base.
And really the A's just the one runner in scoring position, as you mentioned with Olson last inning, or Piscotty after Olson had single was forced at second.
First pitch to Lucroy. He is away. Lucroy struck out in the third. So Hunter Wood, 2 good innings. Hunter Wood gives up just 1 hit and nothing else. Well, we talk a lot about the A's quest for a new ballpark. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays are working hard to get a new ballpark as well. They have picked a location. It is in the Ybor City, which is very, very close to Tampa. And that's what it's going to look like if they can pull it off.
If you got $700–800 million, contact the Rays.
You know what? For their sake, let's hope they do pull it off. Because, listen, they need a new ballpark, and so do the Athletics.
Well, principal owner John Fisher was in the house on Friday night with the president of the Tampa Bay Rays and kind of looking at their site. And the A's have a couple of sites they're thinking about, but the Rays right now have their site. Architecturally, they've kind of created the ballpark we just saw. They're just looking for the money to be able to buy it or to pay for the construction.
So they're kind of on the same path as the Athletics. The A's will be privately financing their own ballpark.
So if you flip-flop,
that's right.
It'd be underway right now.
That's right. The A's are moving closer to picking a location.
Hopefully by the end of the season, if not the calendar year, to try to get on track. Last year, they thought everything was in place, but that turned out to not be the case, and had to start all over this year.
I don't think that has slowed down.
No, definitely
Dave Cavill and Chris Giles.
No, definitely not.
Power right through it.
No. Well, you have to think that the success of this team and going to postseason in a year that probably nobody expected it, and you're looking at the experts saying the A's, if they're lucky, win 73, 74 games, and now they're looking for win number 91. So all good things happening for the A's on the field and trying to do the same off the field.
Left field, long run for Jake Bauers, and he dives and he caught it. Sensational play by Jake Bauers in foul territory right near the A's bullpen. So all the A's relievers got a pretty good look at that play, and it was pretty good. That's how the top of the 6th comes to an end.
Talking about some outfield defense for the Athletics. Laureano to left center deep. Kiermaier and able to track this one down. Took an eye peek to see how close he was to the wall, and one just as well. Choi hit a ball. Nick Martini to the warning track, banged up against the wall. Peeked to see how close he was to the warning track and made a nice over-the-shoulder catch, robbing Choi of extra bases. So outfield play excellent all the way around. Just need some offense now. As the Rays also showing some leather.
So here's Buchter. Buchter's going to face Kiermaier. First pitch eased in there first strike. Adames next, and then Bauer. So a couple of lefties for Buchter to face. 4-0 with a 2.94 ERA. Good solid season for the A's lefty.
Now this lineup of the Rays very well suited for Buchter, with as many left-handers employed by Kevin Cash, the manager. It's Adames, a right hand in the on-deck circle.
Well, there was more of them last night.
Oh, 7 of the 9 last night.
He's bounced foul. Olsen grabs it. Nice play by Jake Bauers.
Where was he last night, Cap? First base. I mean, this guy's all over the place. Of course, the big home run that he hit. 3-run home run in the 8th inning. First base, moved to left field with Cron. I mean, for Kevin Cash, he's got Cron hitting a home run today, following the 3-run home run by Bauers last night. Buchter gets a strikeout.
Kiermaier swing.
Kiermaier, 1 base hit and a stolen base and a couple of strikeouts.
Adames with a long home run in the 4th inning, his 9th of the year. Adames. Looks like he may have a bright future. Adames is only 22 years old. Lifts this one in the air. And Laureano has it. So 2 outs, and here is Bauers. Pagan was up earlier in the game, and he is up now again here in the 6th inning, so he's probably pretty much ready to go. The Rays bullpen is quiet, so Schultz may get a chance to go one more inning. Bauer's a walk and a ground out so far today. Another young player, just 22 years old. Laureano going back, still going back. It's over his head. Bauers to second with a 2-out double.
This gentleman, he's got a quick bat. So I did last night against Familia, this time against the lefty Buchter, and likes the pitches up as he got one last night for the 3-run home run, the big blow against the Athletics, and this one Laureano reached back and just turned the other way. If he turned to his left, he might have caught it. He turned to his right, back over his shoulder, but still Laureano, very few will go over his head. That one did.
Sometimes, Ray, a ball off the bat of a left-handed hitter may have a little slice toward left center to it. Ball off a right-handed hitter's bat may work its way a little bit toward right center.
Sucre ended his hitless streak there as Laureano. He sets to the side, but he takes the right leg and turns it back square. It's kind of his way of setting up. Guys will do different things, but in center field, he usually, as a pitcher comes, he will square himself up. And some of the Rays, Brian Anderson, when it was asking about him, and it's just his setup, the way he does it. And watch as the pitch is on his way, he's like that, and then here comes the right leg, and then he's set to go. So good shot, guys.
Two 2-0 to Jesus Sucre. Sucre looked like he was taken all the way, and it's in for a strike.
It is kind of interesting watching Laureano, and everybody has their way. You can't just stand there as an infielder or an outfielder. You have to do something just like loading up as a hitter. You have to start your swing. You have to start your movement as an infielder, outfielder, and everybody is different. They'll kind of stand, but as the pitch is on its way, they'll get into the set position where they can go left, right, forwards, or backwards.
See Matt Chapman, boy, he gets way down in that real athletic stance.
It shot Brooks Robinson in Baltimore. He always had that where he kind of went forward, but he had tremendous hands and great lateral movement. But you see guys standing around, but man, as the pitcher is getting ready, then they themselves get ready into whatever position they are going to get. You see, I mean, sometimes they take a step left or right. It's just something automatic. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works against them. The ball goes the opposite direction.
Olsen, Luke Croy, it'll be Olsen, and he grabs it, runner stranded at second base. Seventh inning coming up from Tropicana Field. The Rays leading the A's 3-0.
Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
3-0 Rays lead. That is our hotel.
It's a nice hotel.
It's a beautiful hotel. Renaissance Vanoy, one of our favorite hotels. They say it's haunted. I don't know. I've never experienced anything, although some players say, oh.
Johnny Dasco thought it was when
Johnny Dasco, yes.
We deked him, didn't we?
So, we prepped him that it was extremely haunted. It's an old hotel, but it's one of our favorites. Beautiful.
You get in 3 o'clock in the morning and you're walking down the hall and you say, Johnny, that's your room? Johnny D said, yeah. Oh no. You sure he wants to? He was not happy. I don't think he slept at all. It's all right.
Matt Chapman leading things off. A's trying to get something going offensively. First pitch strike from Jamie Schultz, who's into his second inning of work.
Well, they said Stanek, who started last night, would be the 8th inning pitcher tonight or today, and he's warming up in the 7th.
Quick 0-2 to Matt Chapman. Chapman has grounded out twice to the shortstop. So Schultz had a 3 up, 3 down, 6th inning. Down the right field line, headed for the Rays bullpen, and Malik Smith just runs out of room. Actually got closer to it than I thought. Lowry to follow, and then Chris Davis here in the 7th inning. Schultz is pitcher number 4. Castillo went 1 inning, and then Kittredge 2, Wood 2, and now Schultz into his 2nd. The backstop, and from 0-2 to 3-2.
And away he's pitching to Matt Chapman with Jed Lowry to follow. And then, of course, the man who hit the solo home run in the 10th inning on Friday night would be up 3rd in the innings. Jed watches Schultz. But that's why maybe 2 guys are warming up in the bullpen.
Chapman skies it to the right side of the infield, and the first baseman Crone grabs it.
Now, fans, you have the chance to win a game-worn autographed jersey off the back of an A's player. Coach followed the game on Saturday, September the 22nd. Fans will make a donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund at home games. From September the 1st to the 22nd will receive a scratcher card for their chance to win. Fans will also have the chance to win autographed baseballs, A's swag, a 2019 suite, and more. Find a designated team member throughout the ballpark or visit section 217 for your chance to win. A big Saturday at the Coliseum. The fireworks, of course, right after the game. He's hopeful of getting a victory. Shirts off the back, and then
Based on
fireworks.
that vertical angle, I would-
The right field corner. Smith grabs it 2 away. And here is Chris Davis.
Kevin Cash standpoint, best case scenario, Chris Davis up with nobody on base. A's were hopeful that somebody would be on.
Davis today has grounded out and hit a deep fly ball to left field. So this was the at-bat Friday and the pitch, and watch where it is.
2-0 fastball middle of the plate. Of course, you could say last night Schultz or Powers got one similarly, and same thing today for a couple of the Rays, but that was a big one. And I shudder to think what might have happened if the A's had lost on Friday night, because they could have been looking at something they didn't want to even think about for this weekend and trying to come back this afternoon to win a series. But of the 20 outs recorded so far, with 2 outs in the 7th inning, 10 have been in the air. It just seems like they're getting counts in their favors, but nothing really is happening to have a productive at bat, get on base.
Well, here Chris Davis sitting in a 2-0 count. What a shift on for Chris Davis. Kevin Kiermaier is playing pretty much in right center field. Bowers, the left fielder, is way off the line.
Well, that's kind of the direction that Katie hit the home run on Friday night. And every time a ball's been hit, the outfielder's been right there.
And now 3-2 the count. Chris Davis does not hit a lot of balls straight pull down the left field line.
Yeah, it's usually left center to the right field foul.
Got it. So Schultz has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and he retires all 6 that he faces. 7th inning stretch time from Florida. 3-0 Rays.
Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Time now for Bill for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, it's been the pitching of Castillo, Kittredge, and Wood, and Schultz. They've all done an exceptional job, giving up just 1 hit in 7 innings. And it's kind of in the formula that Kevin Cash, this is Schultz, and this is a pretty good appearance by this young man. Retired the 6 batters he faced, and great play by the left fielder Bowers on the first inning pitch by Schultz. That was against Martini. Great play with the first baseman the last couple of games, but it's been a good game. It kind of, I'm wondering, as we have observed in the pitching of the Rays in this weekend series, if they continue to have success, will other clubs really start to go seriously about doing the same thing? I mean, it's interesting. If you're a starting pitcher, are you sure you want to be one? If you know, because Blake Snell doesn't have to worry about it, or
at least how about this, a middle of the rotation or a back end starter?
That's it.
Those are the guys that, if a team were to do this, those are the guys that are going to get not X'd out, but they're the guys who are going to be coming in the second inning pitching for him.
Yeah. But in the case of the Rays in this series, of course, 3 openers, if you will. And I know Adam Roden putting the scouting report together. He said 3 openers, and then of course the A's would miss Snell and Glasnow, I guess would be the 2. So I guess if you have 2 official starters, then you can mix and match in 3 games of the series. The question is, how many times can you do 3 consecutive games? Well, so far in this series, the Rays have been very successful. But it's, I'm sure there's a lot of people around baseball watching what the A's All Access for next year. And now watching what the Rays are doing with their openers and bullpen games.
Well, their team ERA, the Rays, 3.64. That is second best in the American League.
Yeah.
The A's is 3.76. That's tied for 4th best.
Yeah.
And the Rays have been doing this since the middle of May.
And from what we have read, since the Rays started doing this, which actually was against the Angels early in the season, they have a lot of success. And you know, they traded away Chris Archer, Nate Eovaldi, a couple of starters that started against the Athletics. They're no longer in the rotation. Snell, of course, in line to be a major attention for the Cy Young Award in the American League.
1-2 to Malik Smith. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Emilio Pagan strikes out the first hitter that he faces today.
But just a good, let him have it with a fastball, and why mess around when you got 94 and he just aired it out.
So here's Duffy. Those other games we're watching, the Yankees still leading the Blue Jays 2-1. That game is going to the top of the 8th inning, and the Astros leading the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the 4th inning. So both the Yankees and the Astros winning 1-run games right now. Want to know to Matt Duffy. Duffy rips one. Left center. Martini's not going to get it. Hangs off the base of the wall. Duffy hustling for second, and he's got a 1-out double.
That's a rare extra base hit for him. But it was over the head of Martini. Came hard off the wall, but Duffy was too good a speed to have to stop at first base, even though Martini did play it well.
So here's Choi. Rays looking for an insurance run, leading 3-0. Choi reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning.
And you have to wonder what if that had been a double play and Fires he got out of the inning, ended up giving a 2-run home run and just didn't have his control for the day and pitched only 4 innings.
Straight back by Ji-Man Choi. Crone then hit the home run. Crone waiting in the on-deck circle. Pagan is the 4th pitcher in the game for the Athletics. He's used 5 pitchers on Friday night. They used 7 pitchers last night. We've seen Duffy steal a bag in this series. Not necessarily meaning he's going to try to steal 3rd here. Outside. So 1-2 the count.
Amazing with everything that's happened. Most of the Rays, it's only 3-0 game. I mean, that's a couple of base runners and 1 swing at the bat, and the A's are right back. But they're running out of time. Go see another pitcher. Maybe 2 more before the end of the game.
So I think the A's thought that was a strike. Pagan did. Lucroy did. He'll chat with Visconti. I think that probably should be called a strike.
Sometimes you wonder how pitches are missed as far as called or not called.
Well, it hurts even more when it's with 2 strikes. So now the count is worked full. Choi does not have a hit in this series.
So Adames worked the count of 3-2 and got a fastball perhaps out of the strike zone, hit a solo home run.
Olsen gets a nice big hop, trots to the bag. So 2 outs, and now Duffy at 3rd. And here's Crone. So again, Crone with a 2-run homer in the 1st. He then struck out in the 3rd and singled in the 5th. Crone did not play in the first 2 games in this series. He's really been struggling. So a couple days off, comes back, hits a home run.
Well, that was a big one in the 1st inning. Again, one that maybe could have changed everything, but a breaking ball, and it was crushed. And Crone knew it, so did Fires, so did everybody here as that ball went on the tarp in the lower deck well behind the seats.
So 1-0 to Crone. We certainly saw Crone a lot when he was with the Angels, but always seemed to be up and down, or he would at least always go back to the minor leagues for a couple weeks to a month every year.
You know, it's almost like Nunez, who was with the A's and a good hitter, no position, and ended up going a couple of Rangers, now Baltimore. Well, C.J. Crone, when they signed Ohtani, and Pujols had to play first, and you know, it kind of changed everything.
The Angels traded Crone to the Rays.
Yeah, because Crone was playing first base, but you get Ohtani. You want to keep Albert Pujols in the lineup. Of course, he's out now, but Ohtani's DHing and pitching, and still waiting to see if they're going to do Tommy John on him. And a lot of things up in the air for the Angels.
Crone with the Angels, he showed some flashes of maybe being a middle of the order hitter, but never really locked down a job there for some of the reasons that you're talking about.
Well, you think of two powerful hitters, Trumbo, who was traded, and C.J. Crone. So they've had some monster hitters, but it just did not work out with either one of them. Both traded.
Crone maybe coming here to Tampa Bay. He's going to get a chance to play every day, which he has. He's got 27 home runs. He's got 64 RBIs.
And he knows that for 81 games he's going to play. They're going to play, because unless there's a flood and the fans can't get in, that's the only reason they would ever cancel a game.
And the 3-2 pitch is inside, so Crone with the walk. So pretty good at bat by C.J. Crone. That's the third walk issued by A's pitchers.
Second baseman, number 35, Brandon Lau.
Scott Emerson's going to chat with Pagan. So we got a pinch runner. There's Carlos Gomez. Talked about him earlier. He's still a fast runner. So he'll pinch run here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
See, I wish he would have pinch hit so we could hear SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Yeah. So the hitter is Brandon Lau. Keep an eye on Gomez. You just never know with these Rays.
Yeah, you're right. And especially with a couple of outs, may try to steal a run. After all, when the Orioles were here, they had back-to-back games in which they had first and third and double steal. That was before the A's played the last weekend, as a matter of fact.
Easy pickoff attempt at third base. That is not out of the question here. Duffy, pretty good base runner at third.
And the A's are aware of it, and I think the Orioles, there were just things that didn't happen. A younger club, maybe inexperienced, but the A's trying to make that, avoid that from happening.
Gomez, decent lead. Not going. And there's a shot headed for the corner. One run's going to score, and Gomez can fly. He hits the bag at third, and they're going to wave him home. Here comes Lowry's throw to the plate. Not in time, and that is a 2-run triple for Brandon Lau, and now it's 5-0.
With 2 outs. Well, maybe thinking too much about what the Rays might do with first and third, and that's a fastball that Lau did not wait. And down in the corner, similar to Kiermaier last night, And by the time the ball got back in, Gomez, who had been put in as a pinch runner, head first slide just to get his uniform dirty, and he did, scoring from first base. That's huge. There's a triple.
So RBIs 18 and 19 for Lau. Here's Kiermaier. Kiermaier hits one well to center, but in the ballpark. And that will do it. But insurance runs for the Rays. They score a pair, 5-0 after 7. Are coming to the Coliseum. A's will have an off day tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3-game series against the Angels. Angels lead the season series 7-6, so 6 more games to play. See the ERAs pretty close, runs fairly close, so it's been an even season series for the most part between the A's and the Angels. Trout doing his thing. Pujols is out for the year. Ohtani's been swinging the bat pretty well. Did I see where Ohtani and Trout hit back-to-back home runs for the first time this year a couple days ago. So the new pitcher is Adam Kolarek. He's a lefty, and he has now pitched in all 3 games in this series. No surprise there. Jamie Schultz, a couple of innings. So the Rays now have Gomez in right field. Inside. Gomez came in the game to pinch run for Chrome. Two and 1 the count to Matt Olson. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Just 1 hit for the Athletics, and it was Olsen's single in the 5th. So frustrating game so far. Last night, frustrating game as well. So there's the changes. Malik Smith is now in left. Gomez is in right. Jake Bauers moves from left to first base. Smith in left, Gomez in right, Bauers at first. And that's a base hit as Olson goes the other way. And he has both of the A's hits.
Well, how about a StatCast on the running of Mr. Carlos Gomez? Ball down the right field line, so he turns it on, and That's what he is able to do. 7.8 feet per second. First to home,
Sounds
11
fast.
seconds.
Sounds fast.
It's fast just reading it.
So the A's have their leadoff man aboard. They need a bunch.
A bunch from somebody besides Olsen. Hadn't been for Olsen, the A's would be no hit today.
Scotty 0 for 2. Towards second. And that is going to be a double play. Lau came in and he got it on that big hop. And once he did that, it was a pretty good shot that the Rays were going to turn the double play.
You know, unfortunately, this has been happening now for the third consecutive time. And a good throw by Lau. The second at bat had been 3 double plays. But Lau this time a nice feed to his shortstop, and they were able to complete the double play after Olsen once again singles. So Olsen perfect with a couple of hits and a walk. But each time with the exception of really 2 out of the 3 times been raced on double plays.
So just like that, 2 outs for Laureano. Laureano has hit a pair of fly balls to right field. One's in for a strike, and now it's 0-2. He's hit into 6 double plays in this series, 2 in each game. That one is lined to right center, and that's a hit. Laureano hits the bag at first, digging for 2. Kiermaier's throw is just a little offline. Laureano with a double.
Like as he rounded first base, he kind of hesitated, almost as if he thought maybe it shouldn't be going. But if he had not even considered stopping, he would have made it even, maybe without sliding. As that ball was elevated, Kiermaier, a Gold Glove center fielder, able to cut the ball off. At that point, looked like Laureano was hesitant as he's thinking 2 there, and it just seemed like, I'll keep going. Get in the scoring position, and the second time today the A's have had a runner in scoring position.
Trying to get on the board. Here's Marcus Semien. This pitch drops down and away. Marcus Semien 0 for 2. Ball very hard as last time. The way through, so Laureano has to be heads up, and luckily he was. Rays toward right center. That's Montas and Trevino in the A's bullpen. So that just looks like that's the spot where Kiermaier plays everybody. Shallow right center. And now 3-1. So Marcus in a hitter's count. Lucroy is the on deck hitter. Play by Caleri. The ball was hit fairly hard, but he reached down, grabbed it, and keeps the A's off the board. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 5-0 Rays. stay alive, stay in contention for the wild card spot. The A's trying to wrap up a postseason berth with a magic number of 7. But it has not been an easy series here in St. Petersburg, and we had a feeling that may be the case. Rays playing well, and they play very well here. So the new pitcher for the A's is Frankie Montas, who comes in. He's made 11 appearances this year, all start, so this is his first relief appearance. Montas to face Adames, the shortstop. First pitch is a strike. Emilio Pagan, an inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. So the A's again an off day tomorrow before the Angels come to town. They still have 2 off days. On the right field line, and it is fair. Bounces up over the small short fence and into the seats for a double.
Tell you what, ever since Adames made a bad play in the second inning, being doubled off on the somewhat line drive that Sucre hit, has been outstanding. Home run to left field. This 96-mile-an-hour fastball hit down the right field line. Did not slice enough to get into the foul territory from the A's standpoint, but for Adames, a ground rule double.
So that is 9 hits now for the Rays. They've out hit these 9-3. Jake Bowers. Bowers rolls it to the right side. It's going to be a productive out. Adames gets over to third. That is the first out. Runner at third. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's check it out. 0-3-0. So nothing going on for the A's offensively. 5-9-0 for the Rays. Mike Fiers not real sharp today. He went 4 innings. Matt Olson's got 2 of the 3 hits. And the A's are going up against the Rays pitching staff that, well, trying something new this year. It's worked today. Marcus Semien, nice play coming home, and Luke Croy puts the tag on Adames. So Marcus playing in, you don't have a lot of time.
On the turf, you're right. He got to Semien quickly, and then he saw the runner Adames coming on contact as the bat, look where the bat ends up, and Semien able to make the nice play. Luke Croy, the bat right between Adames sliding and home plate, but kicked the bat out of the way. Was not going to get there anyway.
Yeah, we're at Texas.
Nice play by Marcus Semien. Catch it first and be able to make a nice throw to Luke Croy, and he did it completely.
So now 2 away from Alex Smith. Alex Smith today is 0 for 3 with a walk. Swing and a miss. It's a good fastball from Frankie Montas. 96 miles an hour. It's one more shot, but trailing 5-0.
And the Rays have done what the A's always talk about doing. That's adding on. 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 2 more in the 7th.
Flip down the left field line, and it's going to be foul. Well, the Blue Jays scored a couple of runs in the top of the 8th inning. The Blue Jays now leading the Yankees 3-2 in the top of the 9th. And the Astros still leading the Diamondbacks 1-0. That game is headed to the 6th inning.
And the A's could possibly leave here thinking, what if? Because with the Yankees, if the A's had won last night and won today, while the Yankees lose it, it could have been a half game. But half game lead, actually. But right now, the A's have a long way to come back. But it'd be nice if the Blue Jays could help the Athletics. That game's happening in New York, too. That's a big crowd there. John Gibbons, the Blue Jays, and of course they traded Donaldson, who was in on the clinching of the Central Division for the 3rd consecutive year for the Tribe.
Up the middle, Montas knocks it down. He's able to pick it up quickly. And that will do it for the Rays. Last shot for the A's. 9th inning coming up. Lucroy to lead it off. All A's. We sit down with Oakland third baseman Matt Chapman. He tells us how he really feels about his stellar play at third base, picks his favorite defensive highlight, plus Brody Brazil tries to emulate some of Chapman's most memorable plays. All A's premieres right after A's post-game live. So
embarrassing. I mean, you got to be. Those are lowlights. Those aren't highlights. Those are lowlights. That was Brody. That's horrible. Hey, Kai, this is the 13th different pitcher used by the Rays in this 3-game series. 13th.
How about that?
And of course, some of them multiple times. But this is the different one. 13th different. So at least we got a chance to see all of them.
Jake Faria. That would be the guy.
Yeah, Beeks would be the only one who has not pitched in the series.
And Matt Joyce is pinch hitting here in the 9th inning. He's hitting for Lucroy. Into the upper deck. Count even at 1-1. Faria, 6th pitcher in the game. Outside, so it is a lefty. It's the only lefty that we've seen today. He's with a total of 3 hits.
And Matt Olson has 2 of them.
Hit into a couple of costly double plays. 3-1 pitch is outside. So Matt Joyce, pinch hitting for Lucroy, gets the top of the 9th inning started with a walk. It's just the second walk issued by Rays pitchers in this game. And now to the top of the order, Nick Martini. Martini is 0 for 3 today. Well, at least, Ray, this is the spot in the batting order where if you could get a couple guys on in front of Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olsen, all guys who can pump the ball out of the ballpark, and that's really your best shot of getting back into this game, even though it is the final inning. And that's outside, so 1-1 the count. What do they call that? A non-competitive pitch, meaning there's really no chance that the hitter is going to even think about it, swinging at it. Way out of the strike zone.
And really, he's not been very competitive with any of them so far. Wake up our guy behind home plate if he keeps going.
2-1 to Nick Martini. And that one's high. Now it's 3-1. The bullpen will be working soon if Correa does not retire Nick Martini.
One thing the A's do not want is to have the 2 runs that Lau drove in, Gomez scoring from first base, those coming with 2 outs, to have an effect on this game. And if Martini gets on, they have a big effect because it's one swing that could tie it. But now it's 5-0 versus 3-0.
Faria does get a 3-1 strike, so now the count is full to Nick Martini. Pop-up foul. Chapman will be next. They're going to the bottom of the 9th in New York with the Blue Jays leading 3-2. Diamondbacks have scored a run. They have tied the Astros 1-1 in the top of the 6th inning. That pitch is a bit high, and he walked it. So he's got some action.
Tapping after the Chrysler drive of the game. Boy, it happened in the first inning. What could have been maybe a inning double play. Instead, C.J. Cron gets a chance to hit, and he did not miss a breaking ball from Mike Fiers. And this was not Fiers today. And it turned out to be 2-0 with 2-out home run in the first inning. They have since added 3 more. The Rays, A's trying to get on the board with a couple of walks already in this inning. Joyce and now Martini, and you're right, the bullpen moving around.
It's Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach.
Alvarado, he was up earlier.
Alvarado was throwing earlier. Romo was not, so he's up for the first time. Meeting comes to an end, sort of. So here's Chapman, 2 on, nobody out. Well, no matter what the score, the A's never seem to make it easy on the opponent in the last inning, or 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Maria delivers, and that one's not close. Well off the plate outside. Easy take. That's our guy. Hey, you want to go to the game tonight?
He said 6-4-3, Matty. You can do it, Matty. Man, is he loud. And Faria's angry with himself. Just fired the rosin bag.
He said he's really not that close with a lot of the pitches that are called balls. And it's 3-0.
And he's been all over the place, and good patience by the Athletics because they don't have a lot of hits. They know they're 5 down. They know they need base runners, and so far they're doing a good job to do that.
Chapman. Looks like he was taken all the way, and it's inside. And now the bases are loaded, nobody out. Well, it's officially interesting.
Kevin Cash has said who's ready. That would be, he wants the lefty.
So the lefty is coming in to face Lowry. A's have the bases loaded, nobody out. They have the bases loaded, nobody out, and it's the heart of their order coming up. So it's Jose Alvarado. He's a very hard thrower. 71 strikeouts in 60 innings. Fair amount of walks. But the opponent's hitting just 178 against him. So he's pretty good.
Yeah, he faced the A's on Friday night. He struck out 3.
So it'll be Lowry. Joyce is at third. Martini's at second. Chapman is at first.
Alvarado pitched the 8th inning, struck out Laureano, Simeon, and Lucroy. And they took him out. He did so well.
So Lowry is 0 for 3 in the ball game. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly ball to right field. First pitch is a swing and a miss. So Lowry is 1 for 12 in the series. The outfield shifted big time toward right field. just missed, a little bit high. 98 miles an hour from Alvarado.
Now, Sucre's got a nice catcher's mitt. Hear that pop?
Yeah, well, if it wasn't broken in at the beginning of the game, it is now. And that one trickles behind Sucre. He cannot find it, but Joyce, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
He did the right thing.
It could have been deep, but you know, we've talked about guys, catchers that on one knee and trying to block balls. And Sucre's on one knee. He can actually, that's not a block. That's a backhand stab. And he's lucky. I mean, you just can't do that. I mean, his head came up, everything came up. It's like, I don't want anything to do with this. And didn't know where the ball was, and Alvarado was pointing to it. But, you know, that's just horrible technique, I'm sorry to say.
So 2-1 to Lowry. Chris Davis is looming in the next circle. Down the right field line, but it's going to be fouled.
Hey, if that run at third had meant something, we have seen Matt Chapman score on a ball not even that far away. But when you're down 5, you don't want to run into an out, and you never know if the catcher is Deacon. Got Bowers again.
Yeah, another great play by Jake Bowers. Good player.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place.
Left field, right field stands.
They struck him out. Alvarado went away from the fastball and went off speed, and he got Lowry. And that's going to do it for Alvarado. So Sergio Romo's coming in with Chris Davis, the hitter. One away, base is still loaded.
Well, the Oakland A's are teaming up with Pitch In for Baseball to host an equipment drive at the Coliseum September the 22nd. Bring your equipment to Seagate, D-Gate, or the Bart Plaza entrance and receive 2 free tickets to that night's 6:05 game against the Minnesota Twins. All equipment will go to Oakland Athletic League. More information at athletics.com/community. Wow, bring something, get tickets, watch the fireworks, maybe shirt off your back. Everything on Saturday the 22nd. Man, that's a great deal.
Chris Davis, left field and deep. Malik Smith back, and that baby's gone. That's a grand slam for Chris Davis to make it 5-4. First pitch.
And just like that. 3 walks, strikeout, grand slam. Pindered it is in Toronto. Jonathan Lucroy in Texas, and a slider that did not slide at 76. And Chris Davis does it in St. Petersburg with the bases loaded in the 9th inning in a 5-0 game. And Kai, those 2 extra runs right now are looming large.
Well, now Olson hits against Sergio Romo, still only 1 out. Olson takes a strike. Use that backdoor slider and count 0-2. Olson's walked and singled twice. So Chris Davis now with that grand slam, 43 home runs and 115 RBIs. Missed low. And it's 2-2. Piscotti will be next. 28 home runs in the last 3 years for Chris Davis. Olson swings over top that slider and he strikes out. So 2 outs here in the 9th.
Slider out of the strike zone, but easy to say, but the ball's coming in, looks good. And Chris Davis, Sean Tollison, he had the walk-off slam, the 3 home run night.
Scotty goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Kiermaier waiting, and Kiermaier has it. And that's the ball game. So the A's get a grand slam by Chris Davis in the top of the 9th inning to make it close. But they come up short, and the Rays take 2 out of 3 from the A's here in St. Petersburg. Time of game this afternoon was 2 hours and 59 minutes in front of 13,197. Final score today, the Tampa Bay Rays 5 and the Oakland A's 4. All right, time now to head back to the studio for A's Post Game Live. Here's Brody Brazil.